Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
You were very quick as well.
I think I was first.
I also need to pick if I see you joined. I was definitely first. Nice try, Josh. Keep trying, bud.
Whatever makes you feel better.
Keep trying. Yeah, that's
Kid.
right.
I'm a kid,
Keep
not a
trying,
bud.
kid.
She's Bud, you're a kid.
Yeah, I'm bud to Chris and kid to her.
Yes. Saturday night. When was the last time we had a Saturday night crossover? It must have been a while ago. Right.
When was the last time we had crossover?
Yep. Well, I got a few mail days piled up since we haven't had one for a while. So first up,
All right, let's go.
here, I have a. Oh, look what I have on my screen. I have the questions, obviously, and then I have.
Yeah. I just like the desktop background.
First up, I have the 2014 Topps Chrome Superfractor Le'Veon Bell. This is the regular standard sized card, and we also have the mini. So pretty neat to unite regular and mini. And then one more running back card, 2019 Spectra 1/1 Christian McCaffrey from the base set. I gotta be getting close to having the run of these.
Nice.
3 more cards, all of the Joker. This is his 2021 Optic Gold Vinyl 1/1. This is his 2020 Optic Gold. And last but the opposite of least, this is Joker's Select Rookie Gold out of 10. So 5 of 10. This is the mega bid.
That was the
Well,
mega
I
bid.
mega bid on that one, and I mega bid on this one.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
we're both on that gold vinyl
I
kick,
think
huh?
you gave me the extra push to just really be like, yeah, you know what, these gold vinyls are the shit.
Oh, I have a question. When did these arrive in the
They're
mail?
sick looking, I mean.
Like, I don't remember you opening any of these.
Oh, do you know when all the mail comes in? Are you the watcher of mail? What, we have to run every package by Christina now? Is that what we're doing here?
No, but I'm just saying, like, some of these I haven't seen before, and
You've seen them. Now this is just getting insulted.
No, I haven't seen that select right there, the select gold rookie.
Yes, you have.
No, I have not.
Came in one of these.
Oh, so you won that at auction like 6 months ago?
Been a few seasons, but finally got here. So, all right, Josh, what do you got?
Well, first of all, you got the
That
Christmas
is,
lights. Thank God.
Welcome.
Christina's doing.
We were all worried. The show
Yeah.
was, these are like the official lights of the
Now
crossover.
it's really the crossover.
I actually got like 5 DMs from people complaining that I hadn't put Christmas lights up behind post.
So now you got ones that's going
Hey,
to
can
give
you go in
everyone
the
a
other room
teaser.
and see if my feed is delayed? Whatever that might mean. Please.
I don't know what you
Let's go, Josh.
For me. All right, I have one mail day. And this comes to me via friend of the show, Mike Pinkerton. I think he's in the chat. He DM'd me that he found this at a show. I said, make this offer, please, sir. And then he bought it, shipped it to me. Sticking with the gold vinyl theme. My lighting's not as good as yours right now, but gold vinyl 1/1 rookie Spectra. You know how I love these Spectra gold vinyls, and this is the rookie,
Congrats.
so happy about
Shout
this
out,
one.
Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Are we doing a little quality control here?
I cracked the 9.5 yet.
So,
This is the 9.5. I'm going for the. I decided I'm not going to grade any of these. I'm going for
so your
the
audio
one touch.
starts talking before your mouth starts moving.
Well,
So it's like Amazon Prime football.
Well, then let's. I'm gonna shut it down and restart it. Test. Now it's good. Okay. Good.
Yo,
Charge your phone, Corey.
we should have some new folks tonight, right? With the extra hour we got.
Yep, this is what everybody's been dreaming of.
We got Saturday night and we got saving an hour. This could be a whole new audience tonight. This could be big time.
Yeah, so maybe we should give people a primer to how this show works. This show is powered almost entirely by the chat. So we're up here to put something on the screen and make noises, but the chat really is the star of this show.
Flap our gums.
We are just here to look pretty. So
We're gonna move our meat holes.
I'm surprised anybody even noticed that my audio and video were out of sync, to be honest with you.
You got a lot of questions to come, and we want to know about that Bitcoin, so we need you.
Thank you. Yes. I don't know if we'll have any Bitcoin content tonight, but
I just love that it's on your screen. Like refreshing every 5 seconds. They go down.
let's go. All right. What about announcements? Do we have any card ladder related announcements to make?
Nope.
Oh, we have an early suggestion. Move our meat holes for episode title.
Oh, God, that's really bad.
All right. I've got that one written down.
I'm working on some cool stuff. It's around population data, so we should be getting some cooler pop data coming to Card Ladder soon.
Nice. Let's go.
That's what I'm working on.
Boom. That's amazing. All right. Nice. Okay. Yo, I'm Stiff Arm Wax. I'm making you a moderator because it feels like the chat might be a little too extra tonight. Make a comment. I'll make you a moderator too. Christina immediately was offended.
What is this? What's a moderator?
I don't know. I said it just was like you can make a mod, and I was like, all right, I'm making a mod.
That sounds awesome.
Okay, well, we got mods out here. All right, there she is. All right.
You can just like Nick and Christina can just like boot us now,
Not us.
or like mute people or something.
Oh no, I can only have one mod.
What? You can't undo it.
Oh,
Like
no. Stiff, it's all on you now, man. All right, let's go. Anything? I feel like is there anything else we need to talk to before we get to the questions? There's a ton of them. So
no, let's go.
question number 1 from Josh Nipper 45. Montrezl Harrell and Giannis's interaction after the Bucks-Sixers game. Go.
Oh man, I'm here for it. Bring on the drama, bring the fights. I think the NBA, these guys are too freaking friendly, you know? In the last few years, like they're all like social media friends and stuff. I want to see some chippiness, some like grabbing the ball from each other. I thought it was great.
You love that.
People are like, people are
had a take.
taking sides, and I'm like, I'm just here to watch it, man. Let's go.
You had a take. Do you remember the bubble playoffs? We were doing the crossover, and Michael Porter Jr. was like, "Pass me the ball," you know, in the post game press conference, and everyone was like, "This is outrageous." But your opinion was like, "Yeah, I kind of like that." You were like, "That's like Kobe," or "Give me the ball" mentality that I like. So I knew that you were gonna love this. I knew that you would have good things to say about this.
Remember when people were like in the bubble? It was someone's family like chirping at Westbrook or something. You remember that? They were like yelling at him. I love all that, dude. This is sports. It's competitive. Like, if we're gonna get all PC and stuff about like Giannis throwing a ladder and Harrell taking a ball, like this is what it's about. The drama. This is why we watch. Let's go.
All right. All right. Yeah, I don't think there's much there. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say that I hate Harrell for what he did to Luka.
Oh, yes. You guys hate him already.
So
I'm over it personally.
I'm not over it.
I do think it must be nice to be caught trafficking pounds of marijuana across state lines in Kentucky and not have to serve a day in prison.
And still play basketball.
Must be nice. But, yeah, Harold just on a different level than most.
No, I'm not. So I hate him, and I think Giannis should have thrown hands.
Okay. Well, thank you for weighing in.
You're welcome.
Well, he took it out on the ladder. Shouldn't we be offended? As card ladder, like take it out on something else there, Giannis. Maybe on Harold.
Yep. I think it's a little presumptuous of Giannis to think he can stay after on the opposing team's floor and shoot free throws. How about that?
Let's go. This is great. Like, you could be mad at both sides. All I know is the next time the Sixers play the Bucks, I'm going to be watching that game.
Right. Should be a good game. All right.
Isn't he 4-15? His free throws shooting slump is back. He was like 4-15 in that game, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-oh.
That's why he was out there.
Okay, hold on. We're just going to hold on a minute now.
What?
We're just going to hold on a minute now.
Okay.
All right.
First, I'm not modded, and now I'm being told to shut my meat hole. So
Let's not talk about your meat hole. All right. Let's just
4 of 13. My bad.
All right. Giannis, the thing is, he's been dealing with an injury at the start of this season. So there's some weird stuff going on with his numbers this year. They're not very good, but I think there's an injury lingering here. That's the issue.
What's the injury?
Knee. He's sat out a few games with knee soreness. Like, I think he's missed 3 or 4 games already with it.
Maybe he should lower the usage rate.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Next question from ASB Sports Cards. I can't believe this is a real question. Did the Luka card sell for $3.12 million or $2.6 million?
When did this become a thing?
Man, I was hoping you could help me understand this.
I've never heard of this. It's the price. Here's a really simple. Christina's gonna love this answer. Card Ladder reported it as $3.12 million, so that's the price.
You love that answer?
I love that answer.
I mean, if the price was 2.6 and I was the winning bidder, I'd have some issues. I'd need some things explained to me.
I wired 3.1 too, so I need like someone owes me 500 grand.
I mean, something ain't adding up here. If I had to pay $500,000 more than what it cost, somebody got screwed. We all got duped, agreed? All right.
Well, because the reason that came up was that like everyone was so up in arms about the fact that we knew what the buyer paid and then what he now is going to be recouping, I guess, and losses or whatever the drama is around that. So people are just like getting ahead of it and doing the math, I guess. But doesn't he still get more than 2.6? Am I crazy? Like
he gets if the policy that's stated on PWCC's website is followed, you get 115% of the hammer price on items of $1 million or more. So
2.6 is just like has nothing to do with anything. Like, nope,
Correct.
That number isn't even applicable to that.
Nope, it's not. So if that policy is followed, then the the consignor gets $3 million of the 3.12. That's the way.
But then everyone's like, okay, here's my take on this. Are we just is there more questions or can I just keep going?
Keep going. No, this is a good topic.
Now people are bringing into question the whole 4.6 because it's just, I'm not sure why we love to do this, but we love to just like assume that, the rich guys are out to, manipulate the market and screw us all. And they didn't actually pay that. The check says $4 million, even though multiple news sources, produced the 4.6 final price.
Right.
Here's my take.
Well, I think we can agree on that, but go on.
Here's my take. That was a private deal between two people we never actually had an established full market value on that card at that time. So who's to say that if that card had been sent to public auction instead of this one-on-one deal, that it wouldn't have sold for 10 million or that it wouldn't have sold for 2 million? We don't know.
Indeed.
So this 3 million to me, or 3.1, is a totally new comp. I like us trying to. The only person that it affects for that first one is the buyer the first time and the seller, because now he's having to take that loss, right?
Right.
Everyone else, this is the new comp. This is the value. We now have a market value when it hits public auction, and it's over $3 million card for a 23-year-old super young player. How are we not taking that as like, dude, someone paid $3 million for a Luka? Like, he's an amazing player, but he's a prospect. He's a young guy.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's incredible.
Look, any story, I think, hobby-related, there's a strong urge to filter it through the lens of, like, how can I make this seem as horrible as possible?
How can you make that be horrible? Like, I must be missing something, too.
Well, the first step is just take away 20% of the price. Let's just start there. Why report it as 3.12 when we can call it 2.6? So let's start there. So first of all, we're just going to knock off 20% of the price. We're going to say that the price is 2.6. That's the first one. And then we're all going to have a good laugh at the terrible guy who lost money. And you know what else is funny? I do find that, so like you said, like Card Ladder never verified the $4.6 million sale, but it did get published in TMZ and CBS Sports and ESPN and Bleacher Report and all mainstream sports outlets. So we used that reporting to log the sale. So in other words, the sale rests upon the journalistic credibility of the biggest sports media outlets that exist. But we never verified or vetted that sale. We relied on that number, we tracked it, we put it in. People, including myself, were skeptical of that sale. And now, however, I noticed that many of the people who shared my skepticism with the sale, they're the first people to want to push the idea that that sale was true. Now that we have the second sale that's lower. So now when it's convenient to tell the narrative that the hobby sucks, everybody believes the $4.6 million price all of a sudden. Because of
the delta.
Yes, exactly. Same people who would have been the first in line to call that $4.6 million sale into question now love the sale. Because guess what? It proves that this poor guy lost a bunch of money and the hobby sucks and ha 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 ha. That's my takeaway from it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's how I feel people are treating this.
What was the date of that sale, the first one?
The date of the first sale, stand by.
Well, you're going to enjoy this. I'm going to have you do two things for me. The second one's funny. The first one's the lob.
The date of the first sale was March 1st, 2021.
Now, go to your little Bitcoin chart and go over to March 21st, 2021, and tell me the price.
All right. On March 1st, 2021, the price of Bitcoin was $48,900.
Interesting. So, good thing he didn't buy crypto that day and he bought the Luka. So, adjusting for where the actual total market of everything has gone, it seems to line up. I bet you our CL value was pretty close to 3 point whatever too.
Yep. The CL value overshot the mark. I think the CL value was the CL value is 3.2.
Yeah, so,
not bad.
This is non-news to me, other than the fact, the news to me is that a Luka Doncic, I love you guys, but he still is super young. You would agree, I hope, that he's young, prospect, no championships. $3 million? Dude, that's incredible for the hobby. What are we talking about? That's the story. But we want to make the story the delta of one guy selling a card, whatever.
Yeah, and
How about the fact that Card Ladder value was spot on?
we just talked about this.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm having a freaking fight in the chat because you modded Stiff and you banned me.
Well, the reason it's so accurate is because it's not doing that much craziness. All it's doing is taking that price and adjusting for Luka's dip in price like everybody else, and it worked.
Yep. So real quick primer for those who don't know how the card ladder value works. It's a very simple and transparent method. You take the last price sold of an item. In this case, it was the 4.6 million for this card. You apply the rate of change that has occurred in Luka Doncic's index since that sale. In this case, it looks like it was a drop off of about 30%. And then you just say, okay, Luka's index is down 30% since March 1st, 2021. Take off 30% from 4.6 million. There's your value estimate. It's nothing more complicated or more intricate than that. And every day on Card Ladder's dashboard, we publish a figure called CL value accuracy that tells you on average of the several thousand sales that were verified the day before, what the value accuracy level was, and usually it's about 75%. So, okay.
Say one more quick thing.
Yeah.
I got a DM that people did not like the feature that when you click on different sales for the same card, you would get different CL values in sales history if they're not verified. It worked out pretty well in that use case you just showed because we were able to historically, retroactively, go back and figure out what the CL value was on that sale at the time, and now we know what it is today. So
right.
It actually works out better.
Yeah, and the CL value is not gospel, and it's not, the thing that determines value of cards. It's just a tool. It's something beyond a guesstimate, but in no way is it something as final as this is the value of the card. It's just a tool, and it should be used or not used at the discretion of the collector, and you can turn it off as well when you're using Card Ladder. And sometimes I turn it off when I'm looking at comps and I don't want to see it. So there is a way to turn it off. And yeah, I mean, if that card is 3.12, and it's the highest selling basketball card on record.
What does that make this?
What does that make my Le'Veon Bell second year Superfractor? All right.
Did you see the Antonio Brown of that?
Way up.
The Antonio Brown of that is on eBay right now.
Oh yeah.
1,000 OBO. It was $550 on alt. I didn't win it, but I was tempted. Antonio Brown he's crazy, but he'd be fun to collect.
Dude, yeah, he would be. He is really out there this year.
This year?
Christina wants me to let everybody know that this card just went up in value big time as well.
I mean, they're on
good.
the same team, so.
This is the Maxi Kleber Reigning Knights, 6 of 10. Let's go.
Every time Luka has an assist to Maxi, you should post that card and be like, oh, what's the new value?
I should. I should start bringing that card to games and taking pictures of it at the game and be real cool.
All right. We beat this one dead.
Yeah, we did. All right, let's go on to the next topic. Did we ever answer the question? Did it? What did it? Yeah, I think we did. All right.
Yeah, it's 3.1.
All right. Oh, all right. Buckle in, Josh. We warmed you up, and now we're going to unleash you. So two questions on this. I'll just read them both, and then we'll discuss. Cards and Candy 911, the GOAT.
He's back.
In retirement.
He's back.
The Whatnot $50,000 stimulus. This is the topic that brought Cards and Candy out of retirement. And Bruin Killer says, how can I get $50,000 to spend on cards?
I have to get this out of the way because it's hilarious to me, but people were like, oh, they're just giving out 50 grand. You realize that they don't actually earn $50,000 of income. They give them $50,000 to spend and then resell and whatnot. So they don't actually make the money. Just to be clear, you're not just getting 50 grand to, put in your pocket.
That'd be sweet though, right?
What? They don't get, what about the profits?
You mean you don't get 50 grand just stuffed in your pocket?
Do we know
being a sports card influencer? Damn.
Do we know the details of that? If they were to profit, do they keep as percentage? Maybe that's part of the deal?
I have
Or
no idea.
how much they were paid to be part of this campaign?
Right.
I want the details. And until someone gives me the details, I'm upset that I didn't get the offer.
So is the take that I'm supposed to be upset that influencers are doing this, or that Whatnot's doing it? What am I supposed to be mad about?
everything.
I think it's a silly marketing campaign that probably won't work very well, but it's a marketing tactic. It's interesting. It's expensive.
Bruin Killer wants to know, how does he get $50,000 to spend on cards?
Oh, that's the question. Well, if Shea couldn't get 50,000, then we're all screwed.
Right. I mean, he works twice as hard, if I'm not mistaken.
How many DMs did you get offering you 50 grand?
0.
Oh.
0. I did get a random Whatnot representative showing up in my requests on IG though. So I think they are on the prowl and they'll take just about anybody if they're reaching out to me.
Well, I mean, they should be first going to the influencer of the year, right? Like the underground influencer of the year.
Yes. The grassroots, the suppressed voice of the hobby. That's where they should be going right now.
Do you have an opinion on this 50K Whatnot thing?
I'm not as mad about it as most.
Me neither.
I think it's completely fine that Whatnot says, hey, here's the concept. Let's go ahead and give 50 grand to some people and have them buy cards at a show. And then they'll take those cards and they'll sell them on our platform. I think it's pretty harmless, and it's a fun way to pump some money into a show. And it's hard to imagine anybody losing here, except for Whatnot potentially, because the incentives are all messed up. If I have 50 grand, I'm not super strongly incentivized to go back and forth with a dealer to, cut the price down or anything. But I don't think Whatnot's too concerned about that. I do worry a little bit about people spending other people's money on cards and then taking it over to Whatnot to sell them, and then they're in all likelihood the cards are going to sell for lower than what they got paid at the show. But Whatnot doesn't create comps, and I think it's pretty harmless on the whole. And,
yeah, if there's one...
I was not one of the lucky few selected to blow 50 grand at a show, but nor would I would have wanted to be. So that's my take.
I would have bought something for myself and been like, whoops, I guess I owe you guys 50 grand.
And so Lamim had a meme about this. Hold on.
Of course he did. His last drop of 10 memes was pretty good today. I was laughing at those.
I thought it was okay, honestly, if I'm just giving some real feedback here. It was pretty mid, but this one got me. All right, I like this one.
That's why he does 10, because there's something for everybody. That was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was definitely the first one. He knew that was the hitter.
That's why there's 10, because there's something in there for everybody.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I thought that drop was mid. I'm not gonna look. Not everything's a hit. Not every episode of every TV show is a 10 out of 10. It's okay. They don't all have to hit.
The wrap up to this is that the one thing I've never been mad at influencers for is buying sports cards. It's always been sort of like all the other stuff. So if they're just buying cards, great.
Definitely. Yeah, if they gave him 50 grand and said, go buy a used Ferrari or something, now we're getting a little far afield.
Or NFT.
Oh, or an NFT. All right, it's too early, and it's way too early to start talking.
I think the point was to sell it on Whatnot, not to burn their money.
Right, exactly. All right. Well, I guess one thing, too, about that is that if Whatnot is accelerating or ramping up its efforts to bring in merch and source merch to sell, probably means, there's a reason why they need this stimulus to ramp up selling activity on their site. Maybe that's completely off base, but on the other hand, maybe it's an indicator that sales are slowing down on the live shopping platforms.
Yeah, it has to be. They're not impervious to all of this stuff going on.
Yeah. All right, Sasha P. Sports Cards. says, let's discuss being grateful for sports card prices coming down to rational levels. Pick up some grails. Are they at rational levels? Should we just take that for granted?
Are you saying they're not low enough for you yet?
Dude, I'm saying there's a question that comes up later from Mohammed. He says, if you guys had to start over tomorrow with no cards and $5,000 to spend, what would you do? So we'll just go to that question next. And I couldn't even buy like the pretty good Michael Jordan inserts.
I saw that question and I was like, I'd cry, I think. I would just go into a corner and cry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I'm not even sure if cards have gotten to a place where we can call the prices rational. Not that they should be rational either. I mean, I pay irrational prices all the time for cards that.
Well, have you
or whatever? But
well, you and I have this new thing now where we've got kind of players at every different tier of value. We've done, I feel like we've done a decent job of like you've got Jordan at the top.
Yep.
And you got Luka, who's pretty expensive. Then you kind of go down to Jokic, then to McCaffrey.
Yep.
Same for me, right? I go top to bottom. And I will say the Chris Paul range is really coming into my very exciting range for me. Like his stuff is really, really coming down. And it's getting into that range where it's like I can get some pretty nice Chris Paul stuff. So it really just depends on what player you're like LeBron still, it's still like I have to give up, an appendage to be able to buy something.
yeah.
So it's not quite like I can just go buy any LeBron card. But yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're buying, but it's getting there for me. I'm able to buy more stuff.
Well, so I always come back to this card, because this card it almost feels like the one that got away. This Hakeem Masterpiece Ultra 1/1 PSA 8. It sold for $15,000 on eBay in August, and the Card Ladder Hakeem Index puts it at like 12.3 today. Like that $5,000 isn't even making. It isn't even getting me halfway home to like Hakeem's 18th best card. Man, but at the same time though, like I am kind of pushing back on the idea that cards are at rational prices. I don't know if cards are meant to be at rational prices. I think I don't think there's anything extremely rational about collecting cards. It's more of an emotional thing or a passion-driven thing to me. But I to your point, like that's great that there's some Chris Paul stuff. Jokic continues to be in that range, in my opinion. So that's why he's a player who's very fun to collect right now. There definitely are guys out there, I think, who are pretty affordable today.
I have a rant later tonight, but basically, like, I make money from my job, and then I spend said money on cards. And if the prices of cards are going to come down 40% when I get paid for said job, I can buy more cards. That's really, like, that's as very simple as I can break it down. So, like, I was able to buy 2 really sick cards with my last paycheck. And before, I feel like I would have been able to get half of one of them.
Dude, I love this. So you want a gross blue skies, glass 99% of the way full spin zone here? How about this? How about if card prices are down 40%, your purchasing power of your paycheck just went up by X percent.
That's the only way I ever think about it. All you guys and your parts and your Venn diagrams and your decision trees, I don't give a crap. None of it matters to me. I just only think of it that way.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just got, that's the real spin cycle here. The card market going down just made everybody way more richer.
That's the only way I think. I don't get why. Yeah, I mean, sure, go ahead.
All right.
The 5,000. Let's do the 5,000.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the 5,000. So, Mohammed says, if you guys had to start over tomorrow with no cards and $5,000 to spend, what would you do?
Well, there's another question, and we're just going to keep wrangling in questions. That's like, if you had to stop collecting, would you be happy? You saw that one?
Yes. There was a question about if I had if my collection just got cut off today, would I be content with that? Yeah.
So my answer to that one is probably different for you, but my answer to that one is yes. That's why this 5,000 is really painful, because it's like, I was there. I already had my content. Now you ripped it away. I have to start over. And I would do 5. I would probably go back to. I would probably focus on like Penny Hardaway, I guess.
Okay. Back to square one?
Yeah, I think so. You know, like I would just kind of start over on Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought as well. My thought was I would go back to Michael Jordan inserts.
Just start over.
Yeah. Just go back to where it all began. Stiff Arm Wax says a Justin Fields optic gold vinyl, 1 of 1. Or he said Justin Fields, and so like this badass card, like this is a really sweet card. This sold with Golden 2 weeks ago now for $4,600. The card letter value today puts it at $7,000. I think it's considerably more today.
That's his rookie?
That's his rookie optic gold vinyl.
Didn't the black sell for like 60 grand?
The black sold for 90.
The Prism black sold for that, and the gold vinyl optics only 4,500.
Yep.
Dude,
2 weeks.
I don't know. I'm just a guy, and I don't know things, but what?
Dude, the optic prism ratio is bizarre. It's a similar ratio existed between the Herbert Prism Black and the Herbert Optic Gold Vinyl 1 of 1. They both sold within like a week or two of each other, and the multiplier was 20x.
What?
So,
dude, you and we're just going to be those influencers who pump the optic vinyls.
Optic gold vinyls. Well, can we put a pause on that until I get some more of them?
I mean, bro, Spectra optic vinyl is also a 101. Hello.
Let's go. And optic golds, because those optic gold vinyls are kind of hard to come by. The optic golds are great. Jokic ones, like in a grade of 9 or gem mints, can be had for $300-ish, $400. Like anytime I see one of those.
Are you serious?
Jacob just had one for sale. I just snapped his up. Like, I'll take five of the print run.
That's where I'm at, dude.
They're so cool. Like, the Prism would be many, many times that. So I'll just sell for the optic gold.
I mean, we're here just buying cards. One quick thing I wanted to circle back. Sasha P is putting together a autograph rookie set of like the top 75 players. Did you see that?
I have seen that. It's very cool.
He's 4 away. So if we can use this platform to help him get those last 4, I believe the toughest one is the Jordan Fleer, Kawhi, Prism, Paul, Arizen. I'm probably messing up. There's one more, but if you guys can help him find those, that'll be awesome.
Yeah. Sasha P.
Cards.
Sasha P. Cards. Instagram at Sasha P. Cards. SHAP Cards. Okay. Best of luck, Sasha. All right. Ricky Puito says, here it is. Here is the one you referred to. They all got put in the right order. All right. If you could never buy a card again, would you be satisfied with your current collection?
I would. I don't really have much more to add. I want to hear your answer.
Yes, because it would be nonsensical to say no.
Right.
Like, we've been incredibly fortunate to get in the hobby at a good time and have a chance to get some great cards. Like, the collection is amazing. Very grateful for it. But there's a lot to be said for the process of acquiring new cards and, the way a collection develops over time. The mail day, how fun mail days are, how fun it is to keep adding stuff. So, hey, I'd be grateful if I had the tiniest baby collection ever, just because I love the hobby. I love collecting cards. But I also love adding new cards, and I love mail days. So it's really tough to say that I would just be satisfied, because I just think the hobby wouldn't be nearly as fun without, picking up cards. Christina, you had an answer you wanted to give to this?
Yeah.
Come here. Come here.
My answer is no, because I'm missing 2020 Prism Fast Break Disco Neon Green out of 5 Maxi Cleva. And until I get that card, I will never be satisfied. I am finishing this MFing rainbow. Thank you.
Change our lights to green in honor of your
This is the correct answer that you guys are giving. I just wanted to get my answer out quick because I knew you guys would take this stance, and I think it's a fun way to give both sides.
Nice. Yep. Good to give. But, also, though, if you take away getting cards, hey, it's still nice to have a collection, and, the hobby would still be fun.
Well, think about it. I bring this up maybe once a month, and I'm going to do it again. We've been friends for 5 years or whatever. We've been in the hobby for 6, right?
Yep.
We got about 30, 40, 50 more years of this. We are our collection is peasant level compared to what it's going to be in 50 years.
We're in the second inning of our collections?
I'm saying that this is a marathon, and it's just going to keep going up. It's just going to get better.
Well, that's a fun way to look at it. Were you able to find green?
I don't even know how these work.
We're still figuring out how to use these lights.
These are programmable Christmas lights.
They are. Yeah.
Man,
Let me go get that.
You do not leave these people on flashing purple. Oh, Lord.
You guys moved to Dallas, and all of a sudden you got your fancy new high-rise apartment. You got your fancy tickets and your fancy lights.
Yep. We're coming up over here, man.
Still got the hoodies,
I
though.
don't know how any of this works. I'm gonna need Josh is gonna be put to work as soon as he gets there.
I'm so excited about that.
Fix the nest, fix the lights,
I'm so excited about that.
Because
Put me to work on the software.
Let's see if we can hack these lights. We'll hack.
The way Nick said it is my favorite. I would say, "Oh, you rich now."
Yeah. When you got the Christmas lights that change patterns like that, ooh, that's the flex.
My lights don't change; they're just static. So I need to up my game.
Well, these just came in a Amazon box about 3 or 4 days ago. So this is the new tech. This is 2022 tech right here.
You guys are that rich on the new.
All right. Flippin' Hoops says, how important is it for collectors to post their cards? For someone that was new to the hobby a few years ago, it was difficult to figure out what lane I should go in. A year or so ago, I saw Josh post a video going through all of his cards. I remember that video. And just seeing his taste in LeBron cards inspired me to go down my own path and collect similar cards of my favorite player. If Josh didn't post that video, I'm not sure if I would have went down the path as heavily as I ultimately did, but in the end, I believe this impacted my hobby experience positively to where I want to continue to improve and focus on my main PC. So talk about, is it important for people to post their cards?
Wow. That's cool, man. That's really nice to say. I love hearing stuff like that, Even if all my stupid takes and this silly show and all of our dumb stuff, to hear that people actually like, the curation of our collection, that's kind of the whole point of this is cool. That's like you want to go back and talk about all these reasons. You want to say nostalgia and pandemic and all this crap. I still give a ton of credit just to Instagram and social media and the internet because this proves it, right? If you're able to share and post stuff, you're just going to keep, pulling in new people that are excited to see it. And that's kind of what's one of the main reasons the hobby's blown up so much is now we have full transparency to all these sick cards. We know where they are. We know who has them. And it just makes it more fun. So post. We've had hashtag stuff. Christina started it. Just show your damn cards. It's easy as that.
Absolutely. And it's the best of both worlds when you post your cards because there's nothing controversial about posting your own cards. So you're not going to piss people off. Usually in hobby or in the sports, when you give an opinion, there will be some people who agree with your take. There will be others who don't. And people can get salty or, whatever. But just posting your cards, it's not going to piss off anybody or very few people. So it's really, there's no downside to posting your cards. You're going to create a good vibe, a good environment. And then the bonus or the extra level to it is that people who just post cards, they get the best and the most organic engagement and the most followers. Like, I remember when Tim, Exquisite Collector, showed up on Instagram, and just all he did was just post cards, doesn't make Instagram stories, doesn't give takes on the market, doesn't influence people, just literally posts an insane collection day after day. And his followers just like started lapping me within a short period of time when he came on Instagram, because all he's doing is just posting good cards. So I think it's tough to mess up posting cards. But Ankesh makes a good point in the chat. He says, but there is an asterisk, a caveat. Unless it's Todd Gurley cards, that does seem to piss people off, doesn't it?
Well, I've had this take. I'm not taking that bait. I've had this. I've been posting stuff about engagement and likes and stuff on what I consider to be lame marketing tactics to try to get you engaged with your stuff, right, versus random Chris, random me posting weirdo football players. No offense to our guys, but like these are just random cards of random players, and in the totality of the world, these are random, and we're getting like 100x the engagement. And not that this isn't like a bragging thing. It's just like literally, you will get more engagement if you just post your cards. Like, this isn't a secret. It's not a trick. People aren't trying to get tricked into marketing. They just want to see the goddamn cards. Like, that's the whole point.
Yo, we had a couple of nice comments come in here. Cage says, real question, not to interrupt the flow, but I just throw a little shine to Christina. Is Christina planning the Mint Collective again? Because if not, I am not going. So says Cage. What's going on, Christina? Are you involved?
I am involved. I am.
All right, there you go, Cage. We'll see you at the Mint in March. Ken says, or triple logo man cards. Don't post those. People will shit on you. All right, we've got a couple of exceptions to the main rule. No Todd Gurley's and no triple logo mans. Other than that, you're good.
Well, I think people are going to be all right then. Nobody has those two things.
That's right. I'm in the clear over here, that's for sure. All right. I've got a bunch of junk I can post. Okay. Mad City Collector would like to know how much time in between sales of a card before you get the fear of missing out because you might not see the card pop up for sale again. Do you know what he's asking here?
Kinda, yeah. Like if you see, like I thought of that MJ Rubies, the 98, where it's like that card is sold 0 times in like whatever years, and now it's sold twice in a month or whatever.
Right. Yep.
Are you worried if let's just say you don't have that card because you do. Let's say you don't have that card, you're after it, and you're like, you know what? It's never sold. Here comes it's over my budget. Oh, here's another one. Should I go hard this time? Oh, I missed it again. Like when are you worried? That card to me kind of was like, dang, I feel like I missed my opportunity. There are 50 of them. 2 have come up. That's sort of a good example for me of I'm not sure when. If it's a 101, this is like you know, obviously you gotta go get it. But if it's like a 50 or something, I'm not sure.
I'll tell you this. I would be very worried if the card I was looking for has not shown up in the last 2 years. Because if these market conditions didn't bring that card out for sale, nothing's bringing it out. So
that's good.
If you're Christina just is distraught over her neon green. So that's one thing. It's like I'd be very worried if the card I was chasing hasn't come to sale in the last 2 years. I'd be very concerned that it ain't coming out. And that if you even get the slightest sense of a lead on it, I would beat down the door to, I don't know where that metaphor is going, but go ahead, Christina. Do you have something?
No, I'm just really distraught because, like, it's out of 5, and, like, I can't freaking find it. It's never surfaced. It's never sold. I asked everyone at the Dallas card shows. I don't know. I need help.
We can all agree there. All right.
You know this. You understand this.
Boys better watch. all week.
You want to put a time span on it, Josh?
No, I like your answer. 2 years is good. I didn't want to put an answer, but I like that you did. 2 to 3 years sounds good to me.
All right, let's go. Cardboard Insights says...
He's got 4 questions, bro.
Yeah, he does have 2 questions.
4.
Oh, 4. I'm sorry, 4. Yes, he numbered them too, which I appreciate. I think this is question number 2, and we actually have 2 questions on the same topic, so I'm going to read both. First is from Cardboard Insights. He says, we know at some levels of buying, trading speaks louder because collectors would rather have rare cards than cash. So have you ever purchased a rare card just because it was rare and because you could use it more efficiently than cash to complete personal hobby goals and chases, even if the card was outside of your PC? And then Aesthetic Cards says, what do you think about strategically buying PC cards of other players to trade to a PC collector later for a grail?
I personally am not good at this. I feel like this takes real skill. I've always admired Grant Waldorf Story's skill at what you're describing. Like, he would always buy key like LeBron pieces or like MJ or Kobe, and he always knew, like, I'm going to trade this one day. I don't know when. I don't know what the trade is right now. I can't look that far ahead, but it will come up, and he always finds that trade. So it's an interesting. It usually kind of have to, if you're going to do that, normally you're kind of limiting yourself to, specific players. But if it's like a one-on-one or something really neat, like that Justin Fields kind of pops out at me as like, man, if you would have just been the guy to buy that, and you don't know anything about football or you don't collect Justin Fields, what a great trade piece,
Mm-hmm. That's so true. Yeah, it's absolutely an effective tactic, and it can be used to make deals happen where they otherwise might not have happened. And it's a considerate way to sort of approach the hobby. It's like, hey, I understand maybe people aren't going to be quick to sell their cards, but if I can come across a card that they really want, it can be more beneficial to both sides.
That's the key, though.
Introduce a trade that makes their PC better so that I can get the card that I want. So it can get out of hand. Sometimes I've seen people gouge in these situations where they have no interest in collecting Maxi Kleber whatsoever, but they go out and get a Maxi Kleber Grail just so that they can, take Christina to the cleaners because they know that she needs it. When you get to that, I don't think it needs much explanation. That's being grimy, And
People have done that too.
And it has happened, but
many times.
But short of that, it makes sense. Have you done this? Because I'll be completely honest. The Curry that I picked up last summer was my intention on that was I know there's a lot of guys out there. I know there's a Curry and Jokic collector out there. There's Curry and Luka collectors out there. There's Curry and Jordan collectors out there. And Curry is just good currency, period. So that was my thought process. Now I've become kind of attached to the card, but that was my thinking was this is a cool card. I'd be happy to own it. There's something neat about it. But ultimately, I think this is going to hopefully end up getting me close to a card that's more central to my PC. What about you?
Yeah, the Curry one's awesome. I wanted to go back to it. You said the word want. It has to be, if you're going to do that strategy, it's got to be a card that people want. You can't, this strategy doesn't work if you're buying, common, cards that anyone can acquire and you're just using it as a, monetary, aspect of the trade. And because people are just going to gouge you on, it's got to be 80%. It's got to be something that you can only get in the trade with you, right? This one-of-one or some sort of rare piece. I've done it. I mean, you might want to cover your ears. I did it with the Jordan stuff. Those two Jordans got me 2 of my best LeBron cards I've ever owned. So, I mean, I've done it with Jordan. I bought a Kobe Rubies. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
There was a guy on Instagram who had a penny green PMG, and he said that was the big rubies that he needed for his set. So I just went out and bought one, trying to make a trade for that. That one didn't work out at that time, but a couple of times.
Nice. Yep. Good question. Good approach / strategy. Vinny Slabarino writes in.
Man, I love this show.
He always enjoys the show. Thank you,
Thanks,
Vinny.
Vinny.
Can you share more about how you execute a mega bid? Oh, yes, we can. Do you use your computer because you don't trust cell service? Do you not put in the number until the last second because you worry eBay is watching and will run you up? And how do you manage the butterflies? Thanks, Vinny.
Do you want me to go first?
Oh, yeah.
I usually use the app, and I'm always on Wi-Fi. I put in the number probably like 2 minutes before, and I just make sure my phone doesn't go to sleep by just sort of like touching my finger in the upper area of the phone.
Smart.
And then with about 7 or 8 seconds, I smash it.
Okay. Pretty similar here. Sometimes if I'm feeling a little paranoid, I will have eBay pulled up on a computer as well as on the app on my phone. And I'll still go with the app first because the computer's a little clunky. On the computer, you type in the number, it presents you with a pop-up screen that says, "Are you sure?" And the app just feels a little smoother. But I will have the computer pulled up just because, like, if the app starts getting wonky or panics or something, like, I can double over to the computer and just, like, within a few seconds get the bid in. And, yeah, I'm usually sending my bid in like, the 5 to 7 seconds left range.
Why don't you do 3? I used to do 3, but then it doesn't give me any time to, just in case I want to hit the pre-bid, the
That
pre-numbers.
one more,
Right?
Yeah.
Because those like eBay gives you those 3 buttons where you can just smash one of them.
Yep. yeah. No, that's true. I've come back with a comeback bid after my 7-second bid proves too low. I've had situations where I get that last second real quick bid in.
But is it a mega bid if you need a comeback bid?
Well, I might have thought it was, but it wasn't.
What's your thought process on like what number to put in the mega bid? Because we've had to give a PSA on, guys, we love the mega bid, but please don't mortgage your future.
So somebody messaged me about like a $50,000 mega bid on a card worth a few $100, and it's like, hold on a minute.
Hold on, guys.
Okay, let's just get this under control.
Yeah, it's usually like, do you have a percentage in mind, like 200% maybe kind of thing?
Well, maybe this is more of a do as I say, not as I do, because my last 2 wins were like 3x megabits. No, that's not right. One of them was a 3x, and one of them was like a 1.2x. So, I don't know. It has to be a number that if you end up winning at that number, you got to be willing to pay it. Otherwise, you're literally engaging in fraud. So,
I don't think it's a mega bid unless if you win, you're right. Like I always pay it. I'm not going down that path. But it's like, God damn it. I fucking did not want to win at the full price, but like you got to be a little angry that you actually won it at that price because you you weren't expecting to pay that much.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Mick Wildcat says, Josh, I took your advice and established a big love in capitals, a big love. Is there something official about this? The big love approach to all my PCs. No more main PC and side PC. They are not.
But you have this as well. This isn't just me. Isn't this you too?
I thought so. As I was reading this question, I was like, who did come up with this concept? But apparently
we talked about it.
Okay, so no more main PC and side PC. They now live peacefully as sister PCs. I will keep you updated on our new family journey.
Did you get this?
This was both of us.
Okay, Big Love was an HBO show.
Oh, come here. Explain this. I did notice that Big Love was capitalized, so give me credit.
Okay, so Big Love was an HBO show about this Mormon guy in Utah who had 3 wives. And then they had 3 houses next to each other. And then the backyards opened into one big backyard. and he like owns like a sports like store or something like that. But like, yeah, so like it's about sister wives instead of side PC, a marriage and a girlfriend. That's what he's trying to get at.
Well, this wasn't just me. All three of us discussed this on this show. We had like a topic, and we talked about this for a while. We were like, I don't know. We like, you guys even said like, we don't really think about it that way. They're all kind of equal. It just depends on the price range or like, you know, the season that we're in, what I'm excited about, that kind of stuff.
But that $5,000 restart question does get you really thinking about what's the real.
No, but that's only because it's like specific number. If you gave me $10 million, okay, well, I'd spread the wealth.
Fair. $10 million would buy you 20 1952 PS8 7 Topps Mickey Mantles. So
that's what you'd buy? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm saying that's something that occurred to me when Heritage auction results rolled in the other night from their Thursday night auction, was the value of vintage cards. There are so many six-figure vintage baseball cards, it's kind of mind-blowing. Like the PSA 7 Mantle 52 Topps went for just shy of $500,000.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The collectibles guru, Eric Whiteback, had a tweet today that took Card Ladder's value estimates for all grades of the Mantle 52 Topps, multiplied it by the population for each of those grades, PSA only, and came up with a total market cap for 52 Topps Mantles, PSA graded only. What do you think it was? The total market cap.
First of all, I love that people use our tool for things that I don't use it for. That makes me so happy. Doesn't it? Doesn't that make you happy? Just like knowing people use the tool.
It's great content. This is awesome how I would. This is like the max use case for content creation.
It's gonna be like an embarrassing. I'm gonna look like a moron because I'm gonna give a number that's like way too high, or I'm gonna be way off. Hold on, let me think.
I mean, the number is staggering. So
multiply by the top. What's the market cap?
Yeah. We have a few guesses in the chat. Do you want me to read them or no?
No, I need to think.
All right.
I'm thinking of the population of the 10 and the 9 because those make up a big portion.
Right.
Like 250 million.
All right, so you say 250. Cage says 42. Spurs Cards says 107. Jake says 50. Kuma says 250. Ken says 400 million. Upstate says 100 million. The answer was 421 million.
See? I don't feel that bad. Ken wins, but I don't feel that bad.
No. $421 million of a market cap for just PSA graded 52 Topps Mantles.
I'm going to jump to my first rant right now. What motherfucking NFTs are selling for $3 million, $400 million market caps of Mickey Mouse? What sort of Top Shots are selling for these? None of them. You guys can talk to me all you want about how brutal it is to buy sports cards, how fucking easy it is to buy NFTs and exchange them on the blockchain, and it's just so easy. People are spending incredible amounts of money on sports cards, and they will continue to do so because it has decades of history and they're better.
Right on. Right on. I need more of those rants. Go ahead, Christina.
My rant is off of Josh's rant.
Wait, you have a rant?
Yes.
Come over here.
This is so annoying.
Well, it'll make you choose your rants wisely.
Who the fuck said it was brutal? Okay? Like, can everyone stop talking about this? Like, it is not brutal. This is a hobby, and it's filled with passionate collectors, and maybe we should start listening to them.
All right, there we go. Let's not tell her who said that.
Yeah, I was like, I'll tell you.
We're not gonna
It's in my head. I think I could use a nice, could use a nice hearty Reuben sandwich.
If you know, you know. Good rant. I agree with you.
Right? Can you feel the passion with me and Christina? We're right. Say we're wrong.
Yes. Yep. 100%.
And someone asked that question. Go to that one next. It was like...
What was it?
There was a question that we got that was like, It might have been Cardboard Insights, maybe, but it was like, it's like the definition of hobby is that like I don't want things to go fast. I don't want it to be easy.
Yes, it was.
I literally want this to be slow, and I'm in year 6 of a marathon. Leave me alone.
Definitely. All right. So, Cardboard Insights, question number 4.
Nailed it.
The word efficiency is used often when people talking about improving the hobby. Words like faster and better are used. This seems to be counter to what hobbies are all about. Hobbies are a way to spend time for your enjoyment. Making a hobby more efficient means the hobby might take less time. It seems that much of the meaning derived from the hobby stems directly from time spent and difficulty, not ease or efficiency. For example, year-long chases for specific cards to fit into your collection. The general feeling that you get hunting for cards that are hard to obtain, which is not present if cards can just be bought and sold on eBay all the time. With many of the best hobby memories and relationships and interactions revolving around, let's call it friction, problem solving, tracking, research, and collective efforts to track down cards. Why so much emphasis on efficiency? Does efficiency mean less fun?
Yes.
From Cardboard Insights.
Yes.
Boom. I have 3 things to say.
Let's go.
They're very organized. 1, John Burleson in the chat. I see you, man. So glad you're here. One of my OG friends in the hobby. Love chopping it up with him. Awesome that we could have you in the chat tonight. 2, that question was so good that it was the answer. Right? We get those pretty often on the show. Love it.
Yes.
3, the reason we have that word is because the certain people within this space would love to use that to amplify the corporatization of the hobby faster. So they would like to benefit themselves and their businesses by telling you that you need to be more efficient. This is what the hobby needs. This is how we move forward, et cetera, et cetera. It's really just for their own business growth and bottom line. It has nothing to do with the collector and, our actual goals. Done.
Nice. Great question and answer from Cardboard Insights, and Josh drives the point home. All right.
Do you agree? Any rebuttal? Nothing?
No, I mean, this is my sweet spot. I just love it. I love everything here that was laid out. This is great.
You're just the meat hole tonight.
I'm just an inactive meat hole when you guys go like this.
You go first. You get the next one. You go first next time.
All right. Look,
I was just waiting for that one. I was waiting for that one tonight.
Look, dude, sometimes if Luka's out there just cooking and everything's falling, and I'm, Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm going to keep feeding Luka. Like, what are we doing here, I don't need to get my shots. The point of the game here is to win. All right. Late 90s B-ball says... this chat is way too distractive to distract me.
Dude, this chat is like insane tonight.
Can we just point out that Cage said he loves the earlier start, and then Seabird Cards goes earlier start is 23 hours late.
Nice.
Amen. It's true.
The chat, as always, is the real star of this show. All right. Late 90s B-ball says, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with show dealers who are only willing to use buy it nows for comps, and they are ignoring if there was a best offer accepted, and they are ignoring auctions.
Preach.
Yeah, no, look, there's not really much to say here. This should be painfully obvious.
That's like my number 1 pet peeve is that. It's like, I just you've seen me send you the screenshots when people do that on Facebook, and I just want to jump through my phone and just that's not the comp, that's fake. Anyone can put the price thing.
Yep. Well, and so people have gotten real crafty lately. I remember seeing a guy the guy had a PSA 6, let's say, and instead of showing comps of the PSA 6, he went and took a comp of the SGC 8 and then reasoned backwards to what the PSA 6 should be worth. It's people do think that way if there's not comps readily available for the grade that they're trying to price them.
Oh, busted.
Busted.
Okay,
nice try. Very cute. Man, let's all right. There's really not much else to say.
There was this one guy. There was this one guy who was selling. I don't want to call him out, but I don't know his name, so I won't. But he was selling like a LeBron Finest red refractor or something, and it was like 2004, and there's like 20 parallels, right? There's so many parallels. And he was selling it for like 10 grand, and it was like, dude, what? And he's like, this is the price. There's no other ones on eBay. True, but I can get the red X fractor, which is lower numbered, for like a fifth of the price of what you just said. He's like, well, that's the red X fractor. Yeah, it's more rare. Like, what are we talking about? It's like literally, it should be more expensive than yours. Yeah, but there's no red on eBay. You can't just go get it. Well, I can if I just wait, because there's 5x the number of them.
Nice. Let's go. That's dude. That's definitely one of your pet peeves. Mine as well.
That's one where if I see it on Facebook, I can't not post the card letter. Suck it.
That's funny. All right.
Josh sends me those screenshots.
Oh yeah, I love it. I send him some as well.
Just you like send it. You're trying to bait me because I have to respond to it and I have to go deal with it.
All right. Kevin M. Cormier says, if Elon Musk, very controversial figure at this time.
Yeah, he's had a fun week.
If Elon Musk purchased Panini America, what would be his first disastrous move? And would Panini still be in business in April?
Yeah, you start. I've been blabbing my meatball. Go.
But this is another one that's right up your alley.
I know it is. That's why I gotta calm down.
All right, you just calm down. Let me see if I can fill the air for a few seconds here. Well, didn't he just fire everybody? So I don't know. I haven't been following this Elon Musk thing very closely, so I don't really know how to tie these things together. Just to be completely honest.
All right, just tag me in. I'm ready.
Let's go. Josh. You're in. Let's go.
All right. Elon Musk is the most successful entrepreneur ever. First of all, he's built Tesla, SpaceX. So let's get that out of the way. The Twitter thing has been a disaster so far. He actually didn't even want to really buy it. He kind of almost bought it ironically, and then they're like, no, you actually did buy it. He's like, damn it. So he didn't actually ever want it, and now he has to deal with it. And so he's trying to make his money back by cutting staff and increasing his EBITDA, I'm sure,
Oh, yeah.
So that hasn't gone over well. Now he's giving employees ultimatums, and he's like, I'm looking for engineers to help. It's kind of been a total disaster. So it's do you think if he took over Panini, it would be the Twitter disaster or the Tesla, smash success, right?
Right.
And it's he didn't really want Twitter. He built Tesla organically because he loved it. Isn't that kind of the story of the hobby? Do you love the hobby organically, or are you trying to make money?
Right. All right. That's a great breakdown. He to analogize it to something slightly different, hobby related, he bought Twitter at the peak, and then he tried to undo that deal, but the court basically said you got to do it.
Ken said it perfectly. Elon was caught shilling Twitter, and he was worth the pay. That's a good analogy.
Oh, yeah.
Can we make that question a rule that you have to ask anyone that you come in contact with who says that they are in the hobby?
What?
Are you a collector investor?
Are you organically here because you like cards, or are you here to make money?
Oh.
It's like a sticky note on your head.
Elon bought Twitter with a mega bid.
Dude, seriously, he did. It was a way high. The people who were like, "Oh, should we sell to him?" They're like, "Are you serious? Yeah, you can have it. Fucking, are you crazy?"
Yeah, that's funny. All right. Slab Daddy says, are you ever tempted to buy an overpriced card on your eBay watch list just because you're sick of being let down every time you get a new saved notification for it and it's just the same card relisted and overpriced again? I'm becoming dangerously close to doing so on a few items, and I'm justifying the overpayment as an investment into my future emotional health. Am I alone here? And if not, what is a justifiable premium to pay to avoid future letdown?
You read that really seriously.
Mm-hmm. It's a sober topic.
This is you. This is your question.
No, I'm the last person who should be giving advice on this question.
Yeah, because you're like, just buy it, bitch.
Yeah, you don't want me to answer this question.
You're not alone, though, right? That's the answer?
Yeah, Eddie says hashtag not alone.
Right. Yep, there you go. Nope, not alone. And you just got to keep working. You got to work at people a little bit too, you know. You got to grind them away sometimes, and play for the long haul. You know, I mean, if it's clearly overpriced, no one else is going to buy it either. So start grinding away until you guys can meet in the middle, which means messaging them and everything else. All right. Iowa Dave says, since the boom, what is the longest either of you have gone without making a trade or a purchase? I find that if I go 3 weeks without making a move, I start to get the shakes like a junkie in withdrawal.
That sounds right. 3 weeks sounds right to me.
3 weeks is about right, I think, yeah.
It's like 3 crossovers where it's like, we're going to get shamed by the other person. Like, bro, you haven't had a mail day here. It's getting a little weird.
Right.
Like, this would have been the week because you had 2 in a row, I think.
I did.
This was the one where I would have been like, we need to have an intervention.
But one of them was like a pseudo non-mail day because I had cards, but I wasn't ready to show them yet. All right.
Trading them and stuff. And then like eBay, what's the eBay? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Have you ever bought a card just to have a mail day? That's the real question.
No, I've never needed to. That's the thing.
But would you? Or like, has that ever crossed your mind?
No, I don't need an extra reason to buy cards.
Just the Frank Ntilikina, just say it. Like you just bought those.
Yeah, the Frank Ntilikina, that's all for sure, guys.
You just bought those? Oh, man. John in the chat says MK Sports Cards has that problem after 3 hours. He's like, check out this Sean Kemp gold, whatever.
Sean Kemp, man, he's on the Mona Lisa portrait cards now.
Let's go. Dude, someone needs to... I saw... you didn't do the question on that dumb documentary, but someone needs to do a documentary just on that guy.
Dude, I would watch that documentary.
The documentary has all these goobs on it and not MK Sports Cards. It's not real.
You want to talk a little bit about that documentary?
I haven't seen it yet, and I don't even know how to watch it. Is it on Apple TV or something? Someone said Apple something. So I have Apple TV or Apple whatever, the subscription.
I thought I read it was on Amazon.
Yes, I don't know.
It's $12.99 to own or $6 to rent, I believe.
Holy shit.
What is this, Blockbuster? What?
You could buy like a Blockbuster Avengers movie 2 days after it comes out for like $3.
Don't shoot the messenger here. Damn.
Bro, Blockbuster is dead. You don't have to pay for movies anymore. You just stream them.
Okay, well, here, Spurs Cards 21 says, what are your thoughts on the Behind the Card documentary? And Spurs Cards gave a review of it already that I thought was really good. So go check out. Jordan, you gotta chill, man. So go check out Spurs Cards 21.
Oh, dude. I'm so glad this chat doesn't get saved. You gotta be kidding.
All right. So,
can you pin that one or no? Is that bad?
No, don't read that one. That one's just a...
No, I didn't say read. I said pin it.
Oh, no, we're not pinning that either. We're not encouraging that behavior.
You're not a mod. Shut your mouth. You're not a mod. That's so good. I haven't watched it. I saw the cover and I thought puke. So there's your answer.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, if they wanted me to watch it, they would have put MK Sports Cards in it. Dude, that's my take.
If they wanted
Can we
to watch it, they put one collector in it.
Right.
Can we? I think Aoki's a pretty decent collector. He seems pretty passionate about it.
True.
If you've got
True.
can we all agree Vegas Dave is just like the worst? Like, does anyone like that guy? He's on this thing? No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, throwing Vegas Dave in there kind of says it all. You know, the guy who's the villain of this hobby, who hates all of us, and is constantly rooting for us to fail, and thinks we're dumb, and thinks we're
He burns cards.
Yeah, that's the guy who's like the figurehead or one of the Mount Rushmore heads on this documentary. Fuck you.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, Chris.
That's where I'm at. All right.
They didn't ask me, you, Christina, Ken, Golden. This is a bullshit doc.
Yep. We have strong opinions without having watched it.
If Chris drops the fuck you on there, you know you fucked up.
Dude, I'm the Vegas Dave thing, like that's wild to me. That shows me that at no point did this documentary have the best interest of the hobby in mind. This documentary is made to sell purchases. That's it.
$6 for renting.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
This is a capitalist society. That's fine. That's okay.
Blockbuster model.
You're allowed to do that, and then I'm allowed to say that I don't like it.
Well, there's two. You and I have a nice simpatico thing going where it's like C card. My thing is like C card, buy card, price. Does it make sense? Yours is like, does this benefit the hobby or not?
Right.
You could just write those two things on our bumper stickers. You know.
Right.
That plus our the quote that we have. Those three things. That's all you need.
That's right. All right. Glad we're able to touch on that. All right. Drake's PC says, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that one. We'll get back to that one a little bit later.
I'm salty.
All right. Heat Collector says eBay shill bidding has gotten out of hand. What can they do to fix this problem? And this is one, Josh, where I'll say, let me give an answer. One huge step they could do to improve this situation, it won't fix it, but it'll help, is they can notify us if an item was paid or not.
Amen.
Now, will that end shill bidding? No, it will not end shill bidding because people will still pay for things and take the loss on the fees, but it will make it much harder to shill bid things. So all these like zero feedback shill accounts, and I know eBay takes it seriously because a lot of times when I'm and Christina are verifying sales at night, I'll look at a shilled auction and they will already have deleted the account of the winning bidder.
Yep.
Wow, really?
So they have been acting quickly.
It says not a registered
Not
user.
a registered user. So like kudos to
Oh,
eBay
wow.
on that. But if you really want to take it to the next level, show us whether an item has been paid or not. That's a great leap forward. One small step for man, one giant step for the hobby. Get us the information to let us know that whether the item has been paid or not. That will go a long, long way towards fixing the problem. But I mean, I've been saying this for half a decade. So
Yeah.
that's my take.
I generally don't think that like eBay and a lot of people that you see getting shit on are like purposely doing some of these things. A lot of them are like technology gaps that they're trying to fill. Like, how do we get this data properly vetted? But so I personally think that eBay is not like intentionally trying to like shill everything. But to your point, like they could be doing more. Here are some of the things technology wise, within the app. This would be a good start.
And Spur fan John, always liked the username Spur fan at Tech. Spur fanatic says, "Is it really worse now?"
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's always
yeah,
been shitty. It's always been.
I think it's actually. I kind of think it's better than it was before.
It might be. It might be. All right. Ben. Okay, so it was brought to my attention. I'm very embarrassed about this. I believe I've been saying this name wrong for many months. I believe the name is Ben XC Runner, as opposed to Ben X Crunner.
Oh no, he's a runner.
He's Ben Cross Country Runner. Ben did not.
Oh,
He did not bring this to my attention. Somebody else did. Ben, just let me know. I really want to make sure I say your name right. Ben XC Runner 1. I'm going to go with that. It makes a little more sense. He says, has nostalgia become a hobby catchphrase that's used to justify paying a lot for cards?
well, as someone who's been a fellow runner, I feel like I should have fixed this. For all of like 3 months, I should have. This is my bad.
We got the new Usain Bolt down here, man.
Oh God, no, so slow. I posted that thing. The thing I didn't post in my race is that I finished 26th out of 34 for my age group. I'm so slow.
That means still a lot left to accomplish.
Right. I don't know, man. I think, a lot of phrases are taken and sort of bastardized by content creators and stuff, but this one, nostalgia, no, I think it's fine.
I had somebody reply to this and say, yeah, it is true, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
that was basically, it's like, yeah, but,
Yeah, if we're going to like question individuals paying too much for a card because of nostalgia, we're in the wrong game.
Right. I think what Ben is approaching with this question here is the idea that has the concept of nostalgia been bastardized and used as a slogan to, and instead of, there was once something very natural about it. Hey, nostalgia is a major impetus for me to collect something. And now it's just become basically a corporatized slogan to convince people to pay money for things that they may or may not even have nostalgia for.
That was like my whole impetus for, over the last few months, me saying that you're going to see a lot more content around, focus on being a collector, because I don't want to say they, sorry, like certain content creators, investors, whatever, want to take that from us. This is our term, our phrasing, and use that and their sort of content to try to grab people and pull them over into getting more viewers and likes and clicks and all that crap. That's to me, like what you just said is what he's trying to say here.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Go to the bathroom. Go ahead. I'm listening.
What should we go to next? Because we've only got about 29 minutes left here. All right, let's go to... Well, let's knock out this last eBay-related question from Cars and Candy 911. He says, okay, so I've been noticing something on eBay for months now. I've been seeing low feedback accounts on eBay send me offers that I accept, and they don't pay. And this usually happens a week or two before a big show. Are these dealers trying to set fake comps to show a buyer so that they can then get a higher price, or this is buyers setting a comp to show a dealer that they want to sell their cards to get a better price? Basically, Cars and Candy is pointing out the problem of cards being marked as sold on eBay but not being paid. And is there something nefarious afoot, or is there a devious intention behind it? And there's really not much to add to this question. People do this. At Card Ladder, we see people that we would suspect are probably doing this sometimes. And it's a problem, and it's something to be aware of. It's something to think about, especially if you're dealing with cards that sell pretty regularly. And you're at a show, don't just rely on the sales from the last few days. Go back a few weeks, try and get a survey of where the price has been for a wider span rather than just the most recent comps, and use common sense and say, like, hey, would it make sense if Trae Young cards have tripled in price over the last week? There's really no reason why that would have happened. Right. So, let's try to avoid that.
What's that Westbrook card you kept?
Oh, I cannot. I have no idea why this is happening. But Westbrook's Topps Chrome and Bowman Chrome base rookies are just being shilled with no shame.
You was like purgatorying the shit out of him.
So many. So many. And
That's crazy. Is it one guy?
Yeah.
Or gal?
No. I mean, I don't know who's doing it. It's different sellers though. I know that.
Or different? Can you tell like the feedback on the buyer or the winning bidder?
Oh yeah, it's almost always a zero feedback account or this user has been deleted account.
Okay.
All right. Did you?
Not a registered user.
Yeah. Did you want to add anything to Cards and Candy 911's thing there?
Talking about like eBay.
Yeah.
Give me the 2-second recap.
Yeah. Basically, people pushing bin but not paying for things right before shows.
This is Spur Card or Cards and Candy?
Yes, the GOAT.
Yeah. This is not meant to be like you're screwing something up, but I always like if someone gives me an offer that's that low, I just reject it, like because I don't even want to risk it. That's like why the best offer is nice, is because you can like filter out, hey, does this look like someone that's actually going to pay? If the chances of them paying is like 80%, no thanks. I'd rather wait for like 100%. Like this guy's got 5,000 whatever feedback. Now I'll accept the offer.
Yeah, right on. Okay. Big question here from Big J Basketball about autographs. So I'll go through it quickly. He says, how much will autograph quality matter in the future? In recent years, many people have pointed out that young players have autographs that are not very aesthetically pleasing. Hypothetically, if there are two players that have relatively the same amounts of hobby love and the same amount of autos available, should there be a big premium for the player if their auto looks better than the other players? And let's take it even a step further. If the majority of new player autographs keep looking worse and worse and worse, do you think it could ever get bad enough that it would affect the category of autographs as a whole and make autographs less desirable and less collectible? I doubt it could get that bad, but I'd like to hear your perspective.
That's a really good question. I don't think it'll ever like completely remove it, but like the fact that there's more than 0 people thinking about it, this question asker, myself, I think it will definitely like over time make an effect, because it would matter to me if the player that I collected or chose to like research on who I want to collect, their autograph style means a lot to me. And if they have a really shitty autograph and they don't put any care into it, and I don't feel like, me collecting them and they're not giving back to me. Like, for example, Chris Paul's autograph is awesome. I feel like every card that he autographs has a lot of thought put into it, and he just does a really nice job. So it just makes me more excited to collect him. But if someone's, having a crappy autograph, it makes a difference. I don't know that it's like as drastic of a difference as we want to think, because people are sort of buying the card for other reasons. But it does matter.
Right on. Christine and I have never been big autograph collectors, but Luka's autograph is so hideous that I certainly use that as an extra reason to not buy his autograph cards. And that being said, we do own one autograph card of his from a pack, and we went and saw him during his rookie season and got an autograph from him at the Staples Center at a Clippers game. So we do have 2 autographed Luka cards, but that's it. I actually think his autograph makes cards look considerably worse. So, I mean, yes, I think I'm already a guy who's not big on autos or.
If he had a cool auto, would you buy more?
What if he had a nicer looking autograph?
Would you buy more?
I'd probably think about it a little more.
No.
I would probably expand the palette of cards that are
Michael
interesting.
Jordan has a beautiful autograph, and we don't collect his autos.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit different though. I
Because of
don't.
his era.
Yeah, it's an era thing. I don't like the climbing the hill of Michael Jordan rare parallels. That hill has to be climbed first, and that hill ain't never being climbed.
Yeah, like if like Luka's, you don't have to use this exact example, but if like his Contenders Cracked Ice or something auto was like super nice auto and you love the auto, would that be a card you'd go after?
Yeah, it would be likelier that I would.
Did you guys have the Immaculate?
Not anymore. We sent the Immaculate away as part of acquiring the Optic Gold rookie.
But if that auto was like awesome,
yeah, it would be better, man. It would have made keeping that card, I think, a stronger inclination.
the autograph, like LeBron has so many different styles of autographs where you can tell he doesn't care, and some where it's like, and I've got all different styles on my cards, and I just love, like, it just gives me so much extra oomph on the ones where it's like, damn, he really like thought about this autograph when he put his pen on this card, like that stuff matters to collectors.
Yep, it does. I don't really love Le'Veon Bell's signature, and he like smudged his autograph on his finest superfractor rookie, which pisses me off. I don't love McCaffrey's autograph, although it's not the worst. It's kind of big and streaky. I don't love Jokic's autograph. It often grades 9, which is another thing that sucks. Is when autographs don't grade a 10. Oh, that's a huge turnoff for me. So,
like when they grade 8, for example.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You don't have any MJ autos. Who has the best auto in the history of the hobby?
Don't have any MJ autos. I don't. That's because I don't like any of the cards that have MJ autos on them.
Right, it's an era thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
He's got such a nice autograph, though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Go ahead. Go to the next question. I want to think of like my favorite autograph. I really like. I love like Magic Johnson, Larry Birds, and Jordans, like that era. Those guys, and Wilt Chamberlain, all those guys. I just love the whole write your name in cursive thing.
Yeah. JC2, one more question about autographs. JC2 Collect says, is it always worth grading autographs on low or mid-end cards? For example, sometimes you have to pay double to grade the autograph on a low or mid-end card.
I personally like to get the autograph grade. So I always think it's worth it, but I understand, if you're on a budget or you're talking about a range of cards where it may not make as much sense, I understand. So it kind of just depends on. I like the uniformity of having all of my autos graded, so that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth getting the autograph graded because if it's a good autograph, it should get a 10, and I think that adds to the aesthetic of the card and the slab. And if it's not a good autograph, I want to know about it, and I want to know that it's not a 10 so that I can go get one that is a 10.
Have you seen that topic recently? I don't know if it was a popular topic, but someone brought up like, hey, if it's not a 10 auto, PSA or BGS maybe said they're doing this. Did you see that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
BGS said like, if it's not a 10, and I was like, should PSA do the same? What do you think about that?
I have two minds on that. I've always enjoyed the BGS policy that mandates an autograph grade for an autographed card. And now they're sort of walking back from that a little bit and requiring or making it so that if the autograph grade isn't a 10, then it's not displayed on the card. You can go look it up, though, online. Whereas PSA has always given you the option of you can get an autograph grade or you can not get an autograph grade. I like slabs that have the autograph grade on it. That's where I stand.
You don't like, so this is similar to the authentic topic on a grade. Like, you'd rather see the PSA 5 than the authentic, right? It's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah. I think I would, but take this with a grain of salt because it's coming from a guy who has very few, maybe 10 or less autograph cards.
I own a fucking card that's a PSA 7-8 auto. So like, I feel like I'm all in on this.
Right.
Just show me the number. What other goop do you know that has a PSA 7 with an 8 auto card?
I'd have to think about that one. Probably somebody like Rodman, somebody like that.
I just don't. It doesn't bother me. Like I buy the card. I think the auto is sick. You've seen that card, the number pieces one. Like it's a sick auto. I don't even like. It's an 8 because it's got 2 parts that are streaky. But he did a full auto with a number inscription. So like
Right.
it's like I'm offset by that. It doesn't bother me.
Right. Right on. All right. Cards and Candy 911 says,
Diff is on fire tonight.
I don't know if this has been covered, but what thoughts do you have on fellow Luka collector Coleman Cards selling off his gold BGS 9? How do other fellow Luka collectors feel about that? So, two diametrically opposed answers to this question. Coleman is in the Luka collector chat, and when he sold the card, there was an outpouring of congratulations from all the other Luka collectors, even myself included. But then I also proceeded to show my displeasure because I am not a fan of him selling that card. I am happy for him to make an enormous amount of money, and I'm happy for him to, be able to get other cards with it, be able to advance his life with it, be able to build up his business with it, to get new inventory with it, buy a house, retire, whatever. I'm very happy that he can do all those things. But to me, I respect more the collector who keeps their cards. That's just my thing. That's what I like. If it ever comes a day where I'm selling my cards, I will do it in shame. So, that's just my opinion on it. That's just where I'm coming from. Most people do not agree with me on this. Most people think I'm like a psycho for holding this viewpoint. I get it. I know that. Coleman knows I feel this way. And I am happy for him that he did all those things. And that's great. But am I going to pretend to not feel about it the other way? No, that actually is how I feel about it. I think it sucks. I think it would have been way better if he never sold that card. And I would be thrilled if no one ever sold a Luka Prism Gold ever again.
Can I just say, this is why you're my friend, because you don't want to pretend. People that like fake stuff and pretend, you're out. You're not my friend. You're just like, this is the way you are. Like if it pisses you off, it pisses you off. That's just the way it is. He sold. I'm in the same camp as you. I think he sold his LeBron Topps Chrome Gold rookie, right? Or he traded it or something.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. He may have.
So I have the same answer as you. Like, happy for him. Get that out of the way. Wish you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing more or less to it than that.
People were probably mad at me when I sold the LeBron RPA. You should be mad at me. I fucking sold out, left the club. I get it.
It's not the end of the world, but tough. It should be a tough decision. I'm sick of the culture of like, well, we just pat everybody on the back because they sold their cards. Fuck that. I'm part of the other culture. I'm part of the opposite culture. That I congratulate people when they up their collection, and when their collection gets downgraded, that sucks in my opinion.
It's crazy, man, but like you're more upfront about this than I am, but I agree with you. But like that's the minority, man, and it's crazy to me.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the minority.
It's crazy to me. It's like, oh, congrats on selling that card. What the fuck? You have one less card.
Yes,
Your collection got worse today, bro. Fucking sucks, dude. Your collection's worse than yesterday.
Yeah. Facts. All right, I just had to write down a new episode title.
That should be the episode.
What is it? What'd you write?
Your collection got worse today.
Bro.
Like, probably
on it.
All right.
Probably better than Meat Hole.
Yeah, Meat Hole was never gonna stick.
Meat Hole is a little iffy on that one.
Right. Definitely. All right. That's great. It's been a pretty good show. Okay.
Honesty never loses. That's the the Hallmark card thing.
That's right. And then Card Gems 23 had kind of a similar question. He says, when you see the Michael Jordan PMG red, fucking Rodman.
Rodman is like, he's like, Rodman feels so fucking guilty about all that he's like trying to like loosen the blow by commenting in this chat.
Right. Yeah, Sasha, that's a good point too. That's a fair point. Card Gems 23 says, when you see the Michael Jordan PMG red come up for auction, do you get excited or frustrated? Well, as a collector and owner of that card, I now have the privilege of being able to say, I wish it never sold ever again. And then that would make it maximally elusive. And that would represent how I feel and worship that card. But we need to see that card sell every once in a while so we know what it's worth. And so people can make deals for it so that other people can get it. And once upon a time, I didn't own it. And so I would have been screwed if nobody would have ever made it available. So if I take a step back from my own self-interest and say, hey, what's probably the best case scenario for everybody? It's probably better if they sell once in a while because then people know what they're worth. Maybe they're going up, maybe they're going down, and people have a chance to acquire them. Because you know what? I was given that chance. It's only fair if I afford other people that chance as well.
All I gotta say is, thank God people need cars.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to see cards sell. You're wrong. Stop talking.
Right.
Never sell. I'll say it for you. I hate when cards that I own sell. It drives me fucking crazy. I don't care if they go super high, super low. No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It means like, somebody's leaving the group.
Another title.
It's kind of sad. But hey, somebody new's joining.
Never sell.
It also is like, it always brings up this anxiety level of like, I felt like I went to the ends of the earth to get that card, and now some other guy's just going to get it easily on an auction.
Right. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get to this stuff here since we've got about 10 minutes left.
Well, let's get to the meat.
Game Time Sports Cards says, I would like to hear Josh talk about Top Shot.
I was going to say, this better be the fucking Top Shot question. What's there to talk about? What's there to talk about, man? Is anyone talking about it? What's the topic? What are we saying?
I forgot it even was a thing until this question came in.
Is it even still real?
I don't know. I don't know.
Does their site still exist? Are they still selling these things?
Do you remember when we opened a pack of Top Shot?
Of course I do.
2 years ago?
Okay.
Of course I do.
My money on it.
And I was like, hey, that little V in the background's kind of cool.
You like how we cared about it for like 1 second?
We really gave it the good old college try. All right, the website is still up.
You know what was the dagger for them, or the casket nail and final nail in the coffin? You know what it was?
Let's talk about it.
It was the day that they released the physical version of it. Remember that? It wasn't them.
Yeah.
It was some other company. But still, it's like the white flag. Like, hey, this thing sucks, but maybe you want to like a card version of it.
Yeah. Well, look, the website does work, and I think I found something on this site that sums up the state of Top Shot. All right, so
It's like maintenance.
this ain't going to be a trash basket, unfortunately. All right, so we got live feed of recent sales, and you got a LeBron James sold for $192. It was a common. Okay, the buyer is Sebi. All right, cool. You got this Anthony Edwards, $131, and then you got this Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, $645. Big sale.
Big sale.
$645 is the big sale of the night. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about the state of Top Shot when the $645 SGA is the big sale.
I love seeing the graphs where it's like, it's not just Top Shot, it's all NFTs, where it's like the month of, November, May, or whatever that month is last year, August, whenever it peaked, and it was like $70 trillion of revenue. And then every month other than that was like 4 trillion, it was like ridiculously small fraction of it.
Yeah, and remember, the thing that got Bitcoin, that sent Bitcoin spiraling, this whole inability to make withdrawals thing that's got people shooting their
FTX.
pants. Yeah, FTX. Top Shot didn't let people withdraw their money for a long time. And now we understand what a red flag that is, but at the time there wasn't a lot of understanding about that. So that's just a piece of wisdom that I've picked up along the way over the last few years. If a platform is not letting me withdraw my money, probably not going to be doing business with that platform.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did we get any questions about FTX, or is that just toast?
Oh, somebody, I don't have it, but somebody did send one in like a week or two ago. There's something. That one thing about FTX is that when look at this. I just got prompted with this because the website's been sitting up for this long. Do you want to stay up to date with Top Shot? Let's just do this live for everybody. Oh, no thanks.
Do you have a live look at FTX?
Do I have a live look
at their corporate offices or their stock price? Or
yes, I do actually. I saw this the other day when I was actually Googling images of FTX. Oh, where is it that I was trying to find this one here?
Dude, what if you logged into your Brendan Ryan in the chat said this. What if you logged into your Bank of America or your Chase, your Wells Fargo or whatever, and it was like, you know what? You can't withdraw money today. Fuck off.
That would be a problem. All right, so here's the live. This is the FTX headquarters here.
So good.
A lot of business getting done here. Foreseeable future.
I saved a picture of that guy, with the Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever, the guy. I saved that picture on my camera roll, and I've been getting a lot of content out of that one picture. Here's a live look at, anytime you screw up or you make a bad decision as a human, that's the picture you get.
Yes, and on a more serious note, the FTX thing teaches us what happens if there's fraudsters at the helm of important infrastructure in an industry where the value of the asset that the industry is built around is based on that infrastructure being on the up and up. So the best case scenario in an industry like ours that might be able to learn something from this is be zero reliance on infrastructure. That's the best case scenario. Let all the value of an item be intrinsic to the item and not dependent upon the infrastructure and the ability to frictionless trade it and blah, blah, blah. As soon as an industry falls into that dependency on infrastructure, you are now at the mercy of the people who operate it. And they can do great damage if they don't operate it with the utmost integrity and with good corporate bearings. So that's the lesson.
Another zinger that you brought this one up to me, but I'm gonna steal it. Isn't the whole point of crypto that it's decentralized, and yet we're shocked when a centralized version of crypto goes under?
Well, that's the new pivot here that Bitcoin maximalists have seized on.
Oh, so they're like, I told you so. It's supposed to be decentralized.
Yes, they're like this. They're like, we've been saying all along, we need the self-custody measures. The problem here was that people didn't know how to put their Bitcoins into a wallet, and they didn't have custody of their Bitcoin. That's the problem here. So this is an easy fix. This is proof, actually, of Bitcoin's thesis that its decentralized nature requires people to have custody of their Bitcoins, and they cannot be on an exchange.
Would you like to right now have this moment to yourself to say that you, in the past, have said this, and you currently will say this, that it's the biggest scam in human history? Are you willing to do that right now?
Let's go. We're in the last 3 minutes of the show.
Go ahead.
Whoa, what is it? What are you teeing me up for here?
The biggest scam in human history.
Well, I mean, look, I did once say that. I may have once said that. And, I'm sticking to my guns here. But I'm not here to dance on graves. I'm really not. It does suck that a lot of wealth was wiped out in Bitcoin and in other areas too. So, but until somebody can explain to me why Bitcoin should be worth 16,000 US dollars and not 15,432, it's supposed to be a currency. And ironically enough, this is the environment when we have extreme volatility in exchange rates across international currencies, and the dollar is like really strong against other currencies, and it's like decreasing the purchasing power of other currencies, which actually has a ripple effect in the hobby for international buyers, but we don't need to talk about that today. Bitcoin should be like, excuse me, Bitcoin should be thriving right now. This is the environment in which Bitcoin is supposed to solve the problem of these dynamic currency fluctuations. Bitcoin, if everybody just had Bitcoin, they wouldn't be losing value as a result of exchange rates. And instead, Bitcoin has had a really rough go of it during this time. So I think if Bitcoin's value is derived from its utility, that's not reflected in the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a totally speculative asset at this time, and it's pretty far away from utility. So that's it. That's all I got, Josh.
Okay, I'm satisfied.
Yep. All right. Well, any last...
One more.
One more? All right, one more. Let's just go ahead and get this one out of the way.
Got to give the people what they want.
High Fades 82 says, what happened to VeeFriends? Do you have
Let's go.
Do you have any theories? It's been awfully quiet from that group.
I'm just picturing the guy at the very end of all the shows and all the talking, jumping onto the pile and just getting on top of it and finishing it off.
Yeah. This is the 15th guy jumping on the pile at the football game.
Right. Well, this is my favorite line. Here we go. You listening?
Let's go.
You focused? I thought VeeFriends was going to be the next Disney. See, I was told that Disney was just a collection of IP and VeeFriends would be the next Disney. That's what I was sold on. So that's why I invested my money in VeeFriends. Not because of the technology, but mostly because it's going to be the next Disney. Can you imagine? Disney. VeeFriends is basically Disney.
It sounds bulletproof to me.
All you got to do is doodle on some shit and make some different colored backgrounds, and you are Disney. Marvel, fucking Peter Pan, Mickey, fuck all those. All you need is doodles with different colored backgrounds, and you are Disney.
That you stole from a woman and her children's books.
That's semantics.
Well, I guess you could say Disney stole his fairy tales from the Brothers Grimm.
Is there really, is any idea under the sun truly original? Are we ready to go there?
The audacity to compare yourself to Disney is like beyond explanation. That's insane. Disney has like 100 years or whatever of like IP buildup and franchises, and that's insane. It's just the silly drawings.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's a lot more fun to be at odds with these things when they're having their moment.
This is your thing. You're just like, I don't want any part of this. Just let me go.
It's not, and I'm in the minority on this too, because there's plenty of people who live for the moments when they can message the other guy.
The Luka card went down $1 million.
or to make it like sports related, like, Packers and Bears fans, like they live for the day that they can message each other and say, your team sucks. So the Packers sucking this year, bringing me a lot of joy. Bringing me a lot of joy. But, I don't know, when there's more at stake, people have real money in this stuff. And
That's why we save it for the last, 30 seconds, 5, 10, 15 minutes of the show. We get our last little blows in.
Right. All right, well, we need to pick. I like for a title, here's some of the options.
All right.
Moving our meat holes. The comeback bid. An inactive meat hole. Blabbing my meat hole.
Okay.
And finally, the final. Your collection got worse today, bro.
That one. That's the one.
I think that's the one too.
That's the winner.
All right. Glad we were able to clean it.
Yep. All the other ones were either comeback or meat hole. No.
Yeah, a little too much innuendo in the other ones.
Still too many open doors for.
True. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show. We will see. There was a golden auction that ended tonight as well that we get to take a look at now and see some of these results. So
See you guys in 6 nights. This is the good part about the Saturday. You don't have to wait as long.
new time as well. The new time is 10 Central, 11 Eastern. So that's the new time. All right. See you guys next week.
Reaching the top.
A lot has changed since Card Ladder began. We started with 500 cards in our database, and now we have over 3 million cards and over 30 million sales.
For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
With Card Ladder's sales history feature, we have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history, and you can add a card to your collection with just one click.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Plus, every card, no matter the last time it sold, has an estimated value that we calculated using our state-of-the-art player indexes. Unlike other apps, when you see Card Ladder's verified checkmark, that means a researcher personally vetted each and every sale.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
We know what you want, because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors.
Know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder 2.0, constantly innovating. Try it for free. See why Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Card Ladder 2.0.